say that he loses his job,
right?
And now you have to cover. What, you want to leave because now you have to help?
Yo, welcome back, and we have another special guest. My name is DJ Hughes, and
I'm Charnita.
And this is the That's Neither Here Nor There podcast. All right, so we're going to pray and then we'll get into the topic. Okay?
All right.
God, thank you for today. Thank you for life, health, and strength. Thank you for safe travels with Charnita coming today. Allow what is said to be beneficial for our viewing audience. Allow it to really help someone. And just thank you for everything that you're doing in her life and this podcast. These are the things that I ask upon your precious holy name. In your son, Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. First and foremost, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and I hope you guys have a Happy New Year. Okay? So, for today's topic, we're talking about Side Hustle Nation. And with this topic, why not bring the guru herself in? Like, when I say this young lady has, like, the tools of side hustles, she has the tools of side hustles. But before we get into that, Charnita, what led you to Georgia?
So I came to Georgia in 2008 on a track scholarship to Shorter University.
Okay.
And I've just been here ever since.
Okay. Now, were they recruiting you very hard? Did you have a lot of schools that were looking at you, or?
Yes, but my mom decided that I was going to go to Shorter.
Okay.
I wanted to go to a HBCU real bad, but my mom told me I wasn't street smart enough, so to Shorter I went.
So while you playing, that's a running joke. That is a running joke that we are HBCU school when we used to go to those track meets in Indiana or up north. Are y'all HBCU?
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, it was like, man, no. Definitely a PWI.
Very much so.
Nowhere close. So, okay, that's cool. And so what events did you do?
I did the 1 4x1, 2 1 necessary, long jump, triple jump, and a 4x4 on occasion when somebody needed to practice. The team needed to practice.
And the coach was like, "Where's Charnita?"
They look for me every time.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Fourth leg is 6. Charnita, we need you.
Okay, out there hitting a 103. Don't worry about it. This is not my event.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And I did the high jump once too.
Oh, you did high jump too?
At the conference, one of the conferences.
Man, you was just doing everything, huh?
Whatever they told me to.
I understand. So, okay, at what point did side hustle become a thing? Because I know ever since I've known you, you've been a hustler. And you was even a hustler. I don't even know if you had a job the first time I was at Shorter. Obviously, I went to Shorter twice. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you had a job the first time I was there. But when I came back, it was just, oh, I'm working in the bookstore. Oh, I'm working at the shoe store. Oh, I'm like, goodness, this lady she doing it. So what led you to just be a hustler like that?
So I guess after I had Charles, I was like, I need to make sure we got some fun. So not only that, to support my spending habits, but
we can dive into that. Since you're like I was telling you off camera, like you are the only young lady that I knew back then and now whose shoe game was stupid. Like you always had a pair of fresh kicks on. I mean, I think you the one that introduced me to Nike Day. Like I didn't even know that was a thing. And I was just like, what you mean Nike Day? Like, what do you mean? So what really got you into shoes?
My mom. Okay. So I know everybody loves Jordan, and that was not my initial favorite shoes. Mm-hmm. I am an Allen Iverson fan. So I never knew that. Yes, I'm from New Jersey, so Philadelphia is right there. Right. But I had every AI that came out, the answer, all of them. I had every single one of them. And
did you have his poster up too?
Of course.
I wouldn't be real if you did.
My cousin used to braid my hair. Give me the AI braid, sis.
Wow.
Yes, he's my favorite.
He globally changed basketball.
Absolutely.
Like he's an icon within himself.
For sure. Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
So my mom, I was a good kid. I did my homework. I got good grades. So whatever we asked for, most of the time we got. And so she just got us what we wanted, and shoes were my thing.
That's what's up. So When you graduated Shorter, what made you stay in Georgia?
I was already kind of, I guess, established in Georgia, and then Bird allowed me to get my master's since I was still working with the team, and so with that, I had to be, of course, at school, but then I also had to support my household. So I just started getting jobs, and they became, some of them were like career starters.
So with these side hustles that you have had, would you say you had to interview a lot, or you just knew somebody that knew somebody?
For most jobs, it was more so like my character. So I would like, especially when it came to like the mall, I would just go in and speak and be like, hey, how are you guys doing? You know, your sales going good. You know, we were kind of slow today. How are y'all? And so that, and then one time I went into Bath and Body Works, and I was just like, you guys don't have conversion, do you? And they're like, what do you know about conversion? And I'm like, oh, I work on the hall. So not really so many interviews. Of course, you have to do it like just to say initial. You did it, but
yeah. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something about Charnita. She is one of the nicest people I know.
Well, thank you.
But don't push her.
And
don't. For real, she's nice until she not. Like, don't piss her off. Seriously, don't. But no, like I can see that. It's just the way that you carry yourself. It's you always want people like that on your team. You've always been a team player. I mean, and I think that's kudos to you. Playing in sports, I always felt like hiring athletes was a great component of teamwork.
Oh, absolutely.
When it comes into the hiring field, and a lot of companies should look into that. Not to say that people who never played sports don't know how to work as a team, but people that actually play sports, you're used to it. That's in your DNA.
And you know, everybody has a role.
Yeah, for sure.
Your role that makes the success of the company a lot easier to maintain and to keep up. Right. I can see that. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So when you came to Shorter, were there other sports that you played in high school that you wanted to play, or you just wanted to stick with track?
So I played soccer from the time I was 4 all the way up until my sophomore year of high school. And I just didn't play for my school because different reasons. But I wish that I would have stuck with soccer. And I love cross country too. I know as a sprinter that's probably crazy, but I love cross country. So
I'm glad you're saying that now on camera that you are out of college. Let one of the coaches hear that. Like, oh man, we got to get on the cross country team.
I was gonna try it. I think I went to like 2 practices, and then I was just like, oh, this is too much.
Between that and the soccer team, I didn't understand. Like they would just run around the campus. Like I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
It's not bad. It's not that bad.
Cross country, like
the scenery changes. It's just so beautiful. It's so pretty.
I mean, you got to pace yourself, I feel like.
Yes.
And, you know, coming from a small town myself, sprinting was our thing. So it wasn't more so such a distance. And then just like, think about it. For the track meets, everybody pile up to see the long jump winner. Yeah. Everybody pile up to see the triple jump, high jump winner, 4x1, 100, 200. But when the 3200 do, what happened? Everybody leave. My point is that. So it's just like your whole face expression showed that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's dope. Now I do want to dive deeper into this topic though. So other than just providing for your family, like you got jobs on top of like how do you have time to even sleep? Because like you're so resilient when it comes to jobs.
Thank you. So I am a heavy planner. My planner is my life.
Okay.
So everything that I do is in my planner. Like if it's not written down, it's not going to happen.
Right,
so like right now with my jobs, I know Monday through Friday I teach, and then on the weekends I have to balance out like the weekends that my kids with me and the weekends that I'm working. So the weekends that I work, I just pile up like on all my jobs. And I just tell my bosses, hey, this is the time I can work. This is the schedule. Does this work for you? If it works, they'll schedule me. If it doesn't work, we'll just plan for another weekend.
So I'll say it in layman's terms for the kids that are trying to do what she's doing. What it sounds like she's doing is she's over communicating in her interviews on what she would like to do. So therefore, her other bosses can work together with her schedule so she can do the best job of being financially stable for her and her child. Yes. That's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted the people to hear because I mean you that's you hit the nail right on the head. You are very communicative about what you're doing, what you need. Listen, I work here, but in order to provide for my kid, my family, I have to do this as well. So that's big. You know, a lot of people don't communicate like that nowadays as well. So that's dope. That's dope. What else? Oh, I gotta give you your flowers. I gotta give you your flowers. So I know you guys, if you've been following the show, I always talk about when I got fired from my previous job, and my homegirl gave me an opportunity to speak at the school.
It's me.
So when she asked me to speak at the school, I don't even think she knew I had lost my job, right? So I don't know if God just led you to asking me, but I'm so appreciative that you asked me. So when you asked me, I wasn't even speaking to your class because you had kindergartners. I had no idea. So I'm up here speaking to another teacher's class. I don't know if I told you what my topic was, but my topic was never give up, right? So here's a guy, myself, at that time, this is what, 2022. I'm about to go talk to some fifth graders about never giving up, and I just got fired from my job. 5 minutes before the call, I'm running out of her classroom because I knew who it was, but I didn't know who it was. So I'm running out of her classroom, and I get a phone call from my current boss now, offering me the job. And then it's like, but prior, what I want to give you your flowers for prior to that phone call is for what we were talking about. We was in the cafeteria, and I don't know if you remember, but guys, we were in the cafeteria, and she was like, "Oh, you lost your job? Oh, I'm so sorry." So they got this going on here. You can do this and get this amount of money. Then they got this going on here, and then you can get this as well. They need some help, DJ. I really think you should do this. Also, I'm just like, I mean, A, that's a true friend. B, how do you know all of this, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you had the information ready to go. Like, you had opportunities waiting on me. And I don't even think you realize what that did for me because it showed me what type of friend that you are. And I just appreciate you, man. Like, you have no idea what was going through my mind. Like, even before I wanted to talk to the kids. But obviously, getting offered the job right before talking to the kids was super dope. And then, oh, man, I had all the energy in the world then. But no, man, like, I just wanted to tell you thank you for believing in me.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, you know, I didn't know where I was gonna get a job at, but it was dope, and I appreciate you. So I'm telling you, if you ever meet a Charnita, make sure she your friend, man. I'm telling you, she dope, super dope, super dope. So, okay. And I think the sole reason obviously is you want to provide for your kid, but at the same time, it gotta be because you like shoes and clothes too, right?
Yes, real bad. Real bad.
So how do you make yourself disciplined enough to not overspend in that category?
Okay, so just like, you know, a regular shopper, you know, walking into a certain stores, you're like, man, that's expensive or that's high. Oh my gosh. So being that I work there, I do get some discounts, so that's helpful. Right. But I'll like limit myself. So when it came to the beginning of the school year, I knew I needed some new clothes, right. And so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna spend $250. Like that's my cap for my shoes. And then after that, like I don't buy anything else until like my birthday, and then.
And that's in September, right?
October.
I knew it was closer to
fall.
I knew it was closer to the fall because
Yeah, and then I won't buy anything else again until like December. And then so this year, because I'm heavily focused on my savings, I am doing a 5-month no spend. So that means that starting in January until May 2nd, I can't buy anything that is not a necessity.
So, okay. Let me ask you this. Excuse me. For someone who loves shoes, and $250 is your cap on the shoe game, clearly you're not buying Jordans. Clearly. Or, okay, so you're spreading it out. No, okay. I was about to say.
I went through a New Balance craze for a minute. Okay. I got some 550s, 574s, 9060s, you know, 2002s.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I don't know how you do it. I mean, I literally don't. But I want to make sure that people hear you again. What she said was, she basically she has a budget for everything. And I think a lot of times even myself, because I do it, you'll overspend on the budget. Then, oh man, it's just $20 here, or it's just $50 here, and you're putting yourself in the red. And you don't even have to do that if you stick to your budget. You got to stick to your guns. It's like anything. It's like working out, practicing, or anything. So that's dope. That's dope. So you just make it sound like it's just so simple. Like,
it goes back to my planning. Like, I'm a planner, planning all the things. Or like I know during the holidays, because I'm not in school, I can work more.
Right.
If I work more, that means I can spend more. So during the holidays, I might splurge a little more than I normally would.
Okay. Like I said, you just make it sound all so simple. And you still work with? Do you still work with Tasha as well?
I do. Yeah, Rolex.
Yeah. See, we had her on earlier this year, and she was just talking about. She spoke highly of just about every last one of her employees. So I knew you were working with her. So okay, that's cool.
Yes.
Man, the discount on the facials too, huh? But no, I mean, it sounds like you just well rounded. So okay, with that, how has dating been though?
Don't want a headache.
So okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you a different question. In dating and guys knowing your schedule, does it make them intimidating? Are they intimidated by you, or they just feel like you don't make time for them?
I think that I would hope that it's not intimidating, but I would hope that they could respect the fact that I'm on my grind, and
right.
I'm hustling, and I got goals that I'm trying to get to, and whether they're there or not, like, I still have things that I'm trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, it can be challenging, because if I'm like, hey, I'm free at 2 on Sunday, and you're not free at 2 on Sunday, well, I guess we're not hanging out.
Right.
So,
well, it's it's a lot of give and take. The more that I get older, I see, just even from a work standpoint, like it's a working relationship, even with family, like it's some give and take everywhere. So even when you're talking about it from a relationship standpoint, you just got to be flexible,
Yeah.
So,
and I try to give leeway, but like for me right now, I know that that's probably not going to be a priority. So I'm like, hey, if you want to hang out, I'm free to hang out, but dating, like, I don't have time.
But you know what they say though, when you're not looking, that's when it happens.
Well, they don't have to come find me, because I'm
going to be at work. I mean, that's what the Bible say anyway.
Of course.
When a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. Hey, did nobody ask? They ain't say nothing about the woman. Now you can put yourself in the way to be found. That's because we not always the shiniest tool in the toolbox. As us as men, we don't always get the hints. But if you put yourself in the way, I mean, they'll find you now. For sure. For sure. I know how you do. I'm saying, I know how you do. Your pop out game. All right. Y'all watch out now. Nah, I think that's dope. Now, so as far as Charles, is your son, is he a sneakerhead as well, or?
Oh, absolutely not. Charles does not. Charles does not respect the shoes.
What? So, why you put my boy out like that,
because
man?
Charles needs to wear all black Adidas running shoes.
Oh man!
Because Charles is destructive.
Oh.
You know what? At their school, they have brain breaks, and they run a mile. So
run a mile. What school did he go to?
See.
No, I'm just saying, like
the brain breaks, and they run.
Brain breaks,
and they run.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yes.
So okay, if you know that, then why buy him some shoes that
all black Adidas running shoes?
Can't he bring an extra pair of shoes to school?
What are you gonna do that for?
Why he can't wear?
He already can't keep up with the books he's supposed to have in his book bag.
Man, don't do him like that.
Look, I'm telling the truth. I get on my boy, and we try, but he's not ready.
He's not ready.
Maybe when he's like 18, he might respect the shoe game, but right now he's not very respectful.
So when did you respect the shoe game?
When I was like 10.
But see, you gotta understand this. These kids are in a different time that we was in. We was brought up in the 90s. He's being brought up now, so obviously shoes aren't. I mean, they're a thing, but
some kids, some people have taught their children very well. But my kid has always played hard.
Yeah.
So I was never going to buy him a $150 pair of shoes. Also, Charles wears a size 13.
He went 13?
I'm not paying $200 for shoes to be outside and ran through the dirt and drove through the mud. No, thank you.
Charles funny though.
Hilarious.
That's my dude.
He is hilarious. But no, he's not ready for the shoes.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So out of all your jobs, what made you decide to go into teaching though?
So I've always wanted to teach since I was I'll say fourth grade. I have a teacher. Her name was Miss Messina, and I believe it's Miss Maxwell now. She got married, and she was just so kind to me, so caring. I was the only African American student in our building outside of my sister at the time, so she made sure that she recognized me for who I was, and she didn't try to like put me in a box or a bubble, and she made sure she gave like me whatever I needed at the time. And so like I was just like, man, when I grow up, I want to be just like her. And then I went to the next grade and I had Mr. D, and Mr. D was so cool, and like we had a fabulous time. And when I went to middle school, I had so many amazing teachers. High school, same thing. In high school, I had my first African American teacher, and he was just fabulous, Mr. Williams. And like he just, I mean, I don't know, they were just all so kind, so caring, and they just allowed me to be who I was, and I appreciated that. So I wanted to do that for others.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, could you see yourself moving near to coaching? Because I noticed with you working with the team, you did do. I'm not sure if you did any recruiting, but I seen you doing some coaching. Like you was trying to get the girls right. So, can you see yourself doing some coaching? Or
I think once I finish with my actual like degree program, I could extend more time to coaching. But right now, my plate is really full. So
yes, your plate is full. No question. But no, I know a lot of former athletes always get that urge to want to do something. Because even me, it's a void when it comes to football. I think that's why I'm so invested in high school football, because it's like, it's a big void. Obviously, I didn't go to the NFL. That wasn't my dream. But it's still it's like a void there. So anytime I'm looking at the top high school talent in football or basketball, like I'm locked in. Like I'm just like, oh man, I wonder where he's going to school at. But no, I didn't know. I knew you had some coaching in you, but I didn't know.
So I do robotics. Well, we're going to start robotics, and so that's going to be one of my clubs. And then next year, I want to do a dance club in addition to robotics.
I can see that. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. So
2008 Peach Palace.
Wasn't even supposed to be there.
What a time! What a time, man! Man. What a time. Man, you've been knowing me for a while. That's crazy.
Yeah.
2008, man, that was a time. That was the best. That was the best year of college.
It literally was.
Best year of college. Freshman year, man. Freshman year.
It was a good time for sure.
Who's the biggest class that came through Shorter?
We probably were. When we went to that little camping trip, I was like, oh my gosh, look at all these people. Like,
but nah, so I want to touch bases on that. So I know you have your high school friends, but what made it so significant about your college friends? Like, what's the difference between high school friends and college friends?
So my high school friends, of course, are back home, and so because I've kind of established myself here in Georgia, like when I go home, I make sure I see a few people. But we're not as close as we once were because I'm so far away. But in college, I met a few cool people that I'm still friends with today. I met Tia the first weekend we had to like come and stay over, and we've been friends ever since. And then when we went to the little cabin trip thing, that's where I met KK. And so we've been like three peas in a pod ever since.
Right.
And of course, everyone on the track team. It's nothing to get on Facebook and check in. Sean, he's always we always check in. That's my brother.
Yeah.
So we always check in with each other. We celebrate each other's wins, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I see you all the time with Tia and KK. I think we bring the New Year in together?
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Y'all was mad at me because I was watching the Georgia game.
Let me say,
hey, we got to win.
Talking about Georgia.
We got to win, though.
When is the game?
The first.
Okay.
The first.
But when I first came to Georgia, someone rushed me. I don't know what I was doing, but they were like, hurry up, Charnita, the dogs are playing. And I was just like, what state are they? And the looks that I got could have sliced me into a million pieces. But now I know who the dogs are.
Yes.
Go Dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. But see, you got to understand it too. Out here, it's more go Georgia Tech because they're closer to Tech. But you got to understand too, more your rural areas are people that are not in Atlanta going to go for UGA.
I learned something new.
Right. So for me, growing up in Hartwell, it was either UGA or Clemson because Hart County is right on the South Carolina line. So I mean, I wasn't about to cheer for no Tiger. Just saying. So so it was always go Dogs for me. But as I like see out here in this metro Atlanta area, Cobb, it's more so I like Tech. You hear a lot more people saying they like Georgia Tech, which it made sense because they was brought up out here. That was the closest team to them.
Yeah.
Now they're actually competing with Georgia, like taking them toe to toe every year. It's a close game, so I mean it makes sense.
I love it. Speaking of Clemson, do you remember our first track meet?
Oh man, that was a time. That was a time. Hey, I was fearless, man.
That bus was
that was a time, man. I was close to the crib though, so me, I felt like I was back at home.
Yeah.
But nah, that was a time. That was our first track meet.
Yeah.
D1 track meet, and I beat somebody from Georgia Tech. You couldn't tell me that. I said, man, you at Tech. Actually, I mean, I could have went D1.
Okay.
I beat somebody from Tech in the long jump. Couldn't tell me nothing the rest of that day. But no, we really appreciate you for coming on. I know we were all over the place with topics, or discussions, but that's what it's all about. That's what I love about this podcast. You're open. We can talk about whatever. But for me, I wanted to initially bring you on essentially because I wanted you to just give your plan. Because it's like a lot of times, even when you be coming to church, like I don't even know how you be functioning because it's like your eyes be halfway open. And I was just like, oh, poor thing. I know she tired. I know she worked a tough shift for you, was working 3, 4, 5 jobs. It was like, man, that girl need a break. And I was like, when you became a teacher, I said, okay, yes, she's going to have something more stable. She's not going to be working as much. Then yesterday, I got to go to work. Okay, you on a whole 2-week break, but you still working. But I respect the grind. I respect the grind. So give someone some, if you don't mind, can you give someone some advice on how to manage their side hustle? Like how to manage that side hustle and how to keep going, even when you reach your goal?
So when it comes to side hustles, you want to make sure that you do something that you like and that interests you. So my side hustles are, I work at a shoe store part-time, I work at a retail clothing store part-time, and I also work at a hotel and hospitality. And then I also work with, of course, Natasha, and I do some content creation for people on the side every now and then. But just make sure you like what you do. Like if you don't like people, you probably don't want to go into retail.
Right.
If you aren't going to utilize the benefits that come with the jobs, you're probably not going to like it. So make sure it's something that you love, you enjoy. Utilize a planner. Make sure you're writing everything down. Write down your goals, write down your availability, and make sure you're communicating with the people that you're working with. Because every now and then we may have to switch shifts. I may be sick. Somebody may need to cover. So if you communicate and you're a good person and you're a team player, everybody's going to be willing to work with you and not against you. So, yeah.
Big takeaway was team player there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Team player and communication. Those are the two things that stood out to me that you said. Everything stood out, but those were the highlight bullet points. Teamwork and communication. Y'all got all that? All right, so I'm going to pray us out.
Yeah. All right.
God, thank you for today. Again, thank you for life, health, and strength. Thank you for everything that was said on today's podcast, God. We honor you and we love you so much. And hopefully something that was said that will really bless someone out there with their side hustle job, or even if they never thought about side hustling, they can actually implement that into their life. God, we pray that Charnita has safe travels going back. Continue to bless this podcast and everything that you're doing. These are the things that we ask in your precious holy name. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
My name is DJ Hughes and
I'm Charnita.
And this is the Dads Neither Here Nor There podcast. We out. Peace. What are your thoughts on this 50-50 thing? Because you are a person who always been on your own, got your own. So what is your thoughts? And I'll tell you mine.
So With 50-50, I don't think it should necessarily be 50-50. Like,
for the record, guys, we're talking about a relationship, not a marriage, right?
That's correct.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So
what do you think the biggest issue? Because when I hear the people that are complaining about the 50-50 situation, I'm looking at it like, okay, I'm not for it. I think the whole thing is crazy, personally.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because I was raised to be a provider, but I wasn't raised to be no provider to go broke either.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I think about 50-50 and I hear the people that I hear on the internet, they're basically saying, okay, I'm not going to go 50-50. I'd rather get 2 or 3 jobs. So I'm just saying, I'm hearing you say is you would rather pay all the bills than split half with somebody?
So that's crazy, because being as that I do pay all my bills by myself 100%.
Right.
That's
the logical thing to do. Now I get it. I get it. You can't go brag to your homegirls. I get it. You can't go brag to your family members. But from a mathematical standpoint,
you still saving money.
Right. Like that's exactly. Like that's my whole take on it. Like I'm not for it at all by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not for the 50-50 at all. Because nothing you do in a relationship is going to be 50-50. Everything is going to be 100-100.
Oh, absolutely.
However, when the topic is being brought up, and I'm just like, when I hear some of the people saying what they're saying, I'm like, you guys are missing the mark. Like, when we saying 50-50, or some people are saying 50-50, they're saying, I just want to take half of everything that you got.
Right.
They're not saying, I'm not going to pay anything. But then on the flip side, from a woman's standpoint, I can't respect you if we both paying the same thing. That's what I'm gathering. Because again, men value respect, women value love.
I guess that's also how your relationship works.
Okay.
Because if you're in a partnership and you have goals together and you have goals apart, then you're going to have to work together. Because let's say that he loses his job.
Right.
And now you have to cover. What, you want to leave because now you have to help?
Now, I did see that podcast clip. Did you see that podcast clip when the lady said she told her husband that from the beginning, like, hey, if you, like, provide, you know what I'm saying, you got to provide. He lost his job. And then she had the audacity to fix her mouth to say, are you going to pay me back? Like, what you mean? Like, we married.
That's crazy. That to me is crazy because at the end of the day, regardless of how you guys split your bills, your whatever it is, your mortgage, the car payments, whatever it is that you do, you're still a team.
Yeah.
And when you're a team, today, okay, maybe you only have 30 and I have to handle the 70.
Right.
Like, you're still going to make sure that things get done, things get paid. Like, you don't want no cars repossessed. You don't want your insurance to lapse. Like, you're going to do what you have to do to make sure your family's straight.
Right.
Either way it goes.
Because the Bible say for better or for worse.
And they do.
For richer or for poor.
That part.
Don't read them if you don't mean it.
Ooh.
When I hear the 50-50 talk, like, again, I am not for it. But at the same time, I'm just like, what most people are saying, because it's both genders are saying it, what most people are saying, they are just trying to take half of your load off. So you mean to tell me you don't want half of your load taken away?
If anybody would like to come contribute to my bills, please let me know. 100% it's not for me. But no, like it's crazy that people aren't actually thinking about what you're doing. Like, if you don't have to pay 100% of something and you just have to contribute to make sure everything's good, like, that shouldn't be an issue. That shouldn't be a problem. And I did see that clip of the lady saying that, and I thought that was diabolical because this man's taking care of you. Like, at this point, you should have money saved up.
Exactly.
Like, you should have 6 months to a year worth of money saved in case anything emergency were to happen.
I don't think she respected him in the beginning, though. She went on the internet to talk about this man. Yeah. She don't respect him.
Yeah, and that's hard. And I guess that's a part of the beginning foundations of your relationship. Like, what is it that y'all are trying to do? What is your goal? What is the final plan? And I always talk about planning because I'm a planner and you can plan everything, but you can at least so you can, like, just lay out, like, hey, this is what we want to get done. So if I'm responsible for the mortgage and you're responsible for the bills, I'm going to take my 60% of my check and put it in this account. You take 40%, put it in this account, and then you snowball your debt for this 6 months, and then the next 6 months I'll I mean, like, you have to sit down and you have to plan. You have to be intentional about what you're doing.
Right.
And especially when it comes to money, like when I was younger, this is not the economy I thought I would be living in.
Exactly.
So like 50-50 shouldn't be an issue. Like knowing what all has occurred from, I'm just going to say COVID until now, like everything has changed. My rent went from $575 to $975 in a matter of a year and a half, and like
that's
okay, and my pay didn't change, but they seen a need for, I guess they seen a need for more money for their businesses, and so that changed everything.
Right.
People may not be buying houses right now, but rent is more than mortgages. Like, so if you are thinking long term, saving, spending wise, like 50% sounds so nice.
Here's my problem. Everything going up but the salaries.
Ooh.
Everything is going up but the salaries. And I'm just like, man, we can't, how are we ever going to get ahead as an economy if everybody's living behind the 8 ball? And then when it comes to dating, we hear these talks of, oh, I want somebody like my granddad, or I want somebody like this. But I'm just like, okay, you can't continue to say you want somebody like that if you're not going to be traditional as well.
Ooh.
In order to get tradition, you have to provide tradition.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And that goes for both sides. I'm not just saying one side. You want a traditional person, you have to provide that.
So, like, if you're saying, okay, he's going to go out and he's going to work and he's going to pay all the bills, that means when he comes home, he should have a home-cooked meal.
Come on now.
He should be fed.
Tell him.
Ready for bed.
Tell him.
See, I'm not a traditional person, so I'm going to go to work. But if that's what you're wanting,
right,
then yes, that's something that you do have to provide. Like, so that means, like, there should never be a pile of clothes sitting on the bed. They should be washed, dried, folded within a 2-hour span of time. Because for me, it's 3 to 7 business days.
Right.
But you don't have to, I mean, if you don't have to go to work and you don't have to do all these extra things, like, you have the time. So are you utilizing your time wisely? Like, are there other things that you have to do? Like, so maybe in the morning you wake up, you cook everybody breakfast, you pack everybody's lunch. Everybody goes to school, husband goes to work. When they come home, kids do their homework, you get them a snack. Husband comes home, y'all are sitting down eating dinner, get the kids a bath. Like, and then, you know, weekends are your all's time to chill, go places. But if you're like, you're working, he's working, then there should be like a balance. Okay, well, what are your off days? Okay, on your off days, you cook. On the days that you're not off, I'll cook. Like, cleaning can be 50-50.
Right.
Like, we're not going to go 50 on the bills, and we're not going 50-50 on cleaning. Okay?
But you know what you're doing? You're setting boundaries.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't set boundaries. They have uncommunicated expectations.
Yes. And
come on, man.
It always is going to come down to communication.
Yeah, man, but we got to pivot here, because if not, we're going to keep going into this.